Welcome to Global Fact Trends. Now, I may not be a farmer in the traditional sense, but I've learned a thing or two about raising animals on my little patch of land. Whether you're mucking out pigsties or chasing after runaway sheep, there's always something that can go wrong. That's why we're here today, to talk about the common mistakes in animal farming that you absolutely, positively need to avoid. We'll cover everything from animal welfare to biosecurity because, trust me, you don't want to be caught with your trousers down when the proverbial manure hits the fan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Clarkson, you're about as qualified to give farming advice as a hamster is to drive a tractor, but that's not going to stop me from sharing some hard-earned wisdom. Because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing: happy, healthy animals and a thriving farm. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and let's dive into the 7 deadly sins of animal farming. Right, let's start with the bleeding obvious, shall we? Animal welfare. It's not rocket science, is it? If you're going to keep animals, you have a responsibility to treat them right. Cramming them into spaces smaller than my last hotel room is just asking for trouble. And don't even get me started on the importance of fresh water and decent grub. Would you want to live in a pigsty and eat slop all day? Didn't think so. Look, I'm not saying you need to give your livestock pedicures and Mozart concerts, but a bit of common sense goes a long way. Give them enough space to move around, make sure they've got a dry place to sleep, and for God's sake, feed them properly. A healthy animal is a productive animal, and that's good for everyone involved. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Clarkson, this is all well and good, but vets cost money, and you're not wrong, but trust me, a few quid spent on preventative care is a damn sight cheaper than dealing with a full-blown outbreak of something nasty. So, find yourself a decent vet, someone who knows their way around a cow's backside, and get your animals checked regularly. Treat them right, and they'll reward you with more milk, more eggs, more whatever it is you're farming. It's a win-win situation, really. Look after your livestock, and they'll look after you. Right. Now that we've covered the basics of animal welfare, let's talk about something equally important: biosecurity. It's all about keeping those nasty diseases and infections off your farm and away from your precious livestock. Think of it like this. Your farm is like your own personal kingdom, and you need to protect it from invaders. And by invaders, I mean things like foot and mouth disease, swine fever, and all those other delightful ailments that can wipe out your entire herd faster than you can say, "Oh, bugger." So how do you keep these microscopic marauders at bay? Well, it's all about being vigilant, my friends. Control who comes onto your farm and what they bring with them. Disinfect your boots, your equipment, your hands. Heck, disinfect the cat if it looks at you funny. And if you're bringing in new animals, quarantine them like they've just returned from a fortnight in Wuhan. It might seem like a hassle, but trust me, it's a lot less hassle than dealing with a full-blown disease outbreak. Keep things clean, keep things separate, and if in doubt, disinfect. It's better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to the health of your animals. Get your biosecurity measures in order and keep those nasty diseases at bay. Now, I know what you're thinking. Record keeping? That's about as exciting as watching paint dry. And you know what? You're absolutely right. It's not exactly a thrill a minute. But here's the thing. Good record keeping is absolutely crucial when it comes to running a successful farm. Think of it like this. Your farm is a business, and like any business, you need to keep track of your incomings and outgoings. How much feed are you using? How much milk are you producing? When was the last time Bessie had her hooves trimmed? These are all important details that you need to have at your fingertips. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to become a spreadsheet wizard overnight, but a simple system for tracking your animals, your feed, your expenses, and your income can make a world of difference. It helps you identify problems early on, make informed decisions about your farm, and generally stay on top of things. So do yourself a favor and get organized. Invest in a decent notebook, download a farm management app, or if you're feeling really adventurous, hire yourself a personal assistant. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Chapter 4. Inadequate nutrition. Right. Let's talk about food, shall we? And no, I'm not talking about your Sunday roast. I'm talking about the fuel that keeps your animals healthy, productive and, well, alive. Just like you wouldn't feed your prize-winning roses a diet of crisps and lager, you can't expect your livestock to thrive on a diet of whatever's cheapest at the feed store. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a qualified nutritionist overnight, but a little bit of knowledge about what your animals need to eat can go a long way. Different species have different dietary requirements, and even within a species, factors like age, breed and stage of production can affect what they need to eat. So, what's the solution? Well, for starters, do your research. Talk to your vet, consult with a livestock nutritionist, or even just spend some time browsing those dusty old farming manuals that your grandfather left you. The information is out there, you just need to know where to find it. And once you know what your animals need, make sure they're getting it. Remember, a well-fed animal is a happy animal, and a happy animal is a productive animal. Chapter 5. Overlooking environmental impact. Now, I know what you're thinking. Environmental impact. Isn't that something those hippies in their hemp trousers worry about? Well, here's the thing. We all need to start worrying about the environment, because if we don't, we're all going to be up a creek without a paddle, or a tractor, or a field to farm on. Now, I'm not saying you need to turn your farm into some kind of eco-commune, complete with solar panels and composting toilets. But there are simple things you can do to reduce your environmental impact without sacrificing your livelihood. Take waste management, for example. Instead of letting manure pile up and pollute the water supply, why not invest in a composting system? You'll reduce your environmental footprint and end up with some lovely nutrient-rich fertilizer for your crops. It's a win-win situation. And then there's water usage. Water is a precious resource, especially in these times of climate change. So why not install rainwater harvesting systems on your farm buildings? You'll save money on your water bill and reduce your reliance on mains water. Chapter 6. Failing to adapt to market changes. Now let's talk about something that's close to every farmer's heart money, or more specifically, the ever-changing agricultural market. It's a fickle beast. The market, full of ups and downs, twists and turns, and enough surprises to make your head spin faster than a combine harvester in a hurricane. The thing is, the agricultural market is constantly evolving. What's popular one minute can be yesterday's news the next. Consumer preferences change, new technologies emerge, and government regulations come and go like the British weather. If you're not careful, you can find yourself left behind, clinging to outdated practices while the rest of the world moves on without you. So how do you stay ahead of the curve? Well, for starters, you need to stay informed. Read industry publications, attend agricultural conferences, and talk to other farmers. Find out what's new, what's working, and what's not. And don't be afraid to diversify. If you've always raised sheep for wool, maybe it's time to start thinking about producing sheep's milk cheese. The possibilities are endless. You just need to be willing to think outside the box. Chapter 7. Lack of continuous education. Right, let's talk about something that might make some of you squirm in your seats. Learning. Now, I know what you're thinking. Learning? But I finished school years ago. I've learned everything I need to know about farming. Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. The world of agriculture is constantly evolving. And if you're not constantly learning and updating your knowledge, you're going to get left behind. Think of it like this. Farming is like any other profession. Doctors need to keep up with the latest medical advancements, mechanics need to know how to fix the latest car models, and farmers need to stay informed about the latest agricultural technologies, techniques, and best practices. Now, I'm not saying you need to enroll in a 4-year agricultural science degree, but there are plenty of ways to continue your education without going back to school full-time. Attend workshops, seminars and conferences, read industry publications and online articles, join farming forums and online communities. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to face the challenges of modern farming. So there you have it, 7 common mistakes in animal farming that you absolutely positively need to avoid. Now, I know what you're thinking. Clarkson, that was a lot of information to take in. And you're right, it was. But trust me, it's all important stuff. Avoiding these common mistakes can significantly enhance the success and sustainability of your animal farming operation. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll explore innovative farming techniques that improve efficiency and sustainability. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our channel, Global Fact Trends, to keep the conversation going.